Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to fix the bug fix from our previous video, where if you up the item, then you won't be able to do anything about it in here. Like you can right click and left click and nothing will happen. And I figured out what the problem was in there, and that was totally my fault. I thought I had it all cleared up, but it turns out I didn't. So now I fixed it. You can left click and you can go there. You can right click and it will work. But I'll show you guys what it was before that happened. So before we begin, I'm going to fix this real quick. Okay, so before I'm going to exit out of this, just comment that out so I can show you guys what it will look like. I'm going to put draw self. Okay, so this is normally what it looked like in the previous video, but there are going to be two of them that are showing right now. So we have one down here and one up here. So as we can see, as soon as we pick it up, we can't do anything up here because the real one is down here, and the only way to be able to mess with this one is to mess with this one. Okay, so I figured out what the problem was. So I was thinking, hey, why can't we just move that one to the same spot as this one up here? So instead of it going crazy like that, I added an end step event and added the code x equals view x view 0 plus xx, y equals y view 0 plus yy. Okay, so this will basically go to the same exact spot where we are drawing our sprite. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys now what it's going to look like. Okay, so we don't have any of them right down here. And as we can see, it glitches out up here, and that is because it is showing the original object, but we don't want it to show the original object, so we just get rid of the draw self and it will be all good. So it doesn't glitch out anymore. And that's what you have to do for to get rid of that bug. So now that I've clarified that, all we need to do is just copy this code right here and paste it in the rest of the inventory slots, okay? And as soon as we are done with that, then everything should be looking good. Okay, now we are going to be making more items in this video. Okay, so there might be a part 2 to this, but I'm not entirely sure. So to start things out, we are going to go into our inventory system and we're going to go into the create event. Okay, so to remember this code right here, add the following code below. So I'm going to add this code down here, and this is what we're going to use for our mana. Okay, so global.number of mana equals 0, global.mana slot equals none, and global.mana equals 0. Okay, so it's very simple. It's going to be most likely like this right up here, but a little different. We actually can get rid of one of these. I don't remember what it was, but we are going to start creating our mana. So we're going to duplicate the potion. We're going to call it object mana. Okay, and we're just going to go in here, press the search box, type in potion. Whoops. Potions. Okay, and as we can see, it just highlights the potions, and we're just going to replace it with mana. Okay, so we're going to click replace all. Okay, and as we can see here, everything is now all set. All we have to do is just change the image index into, I think it was number 3. Yes, number 3. Okay. So image index equals 2 to image index equals 3. Okay, you're going to replace all. And we are done with that section. Okay, now we're going to move to this section. Type in potions, type in mana, replace all. Okay, image index, replace all. Okay, now we are done with this section. It's very simple. Okay, and now the draw event, you just leave it there, and then we're just going to apply the sprite to it. Okay, so now we are done with that. We're going to do this one right here. So object mana number. Okay, apply the sprite to that. Go to the create event. It's going to say number of potions. We're going to do number of mana. Okay, we're going to get to the alarm. Number of potions is going to be number of mana. So we're just going to type in potions to mana. Okay, the step event is going to be the same exact thing. So potions to mana. And the image index. Okay. And now we're going to go to the occupied slots. And we're going to do the same exact thing. So potions to mana, and then image index to image index. Okay. And there we go. We are basically done with the code already. Okay. So this right here, we're just going to do mana. This is in the draw event, and we're going to do number of mana. Okay. So now that we have all that down, we are just going to go into our inventory slot, okay? And we're going to go to the left press, and we are just going to copy this code right here. I'm going to paste it, and we're going to say image index equals 3. Instead of global dot number of potions, it's going to be number of mana. We're going to copy that. We're going to paste it right there, and we're going to paste it right there, okay? And this right here isn't going to be HP, it's going to be mana, okay? So global.mana plus equals 5, okay? So now we are done with this section. I'm just going to apply it to one inventory slot to show what it will look like, okay? Sorry, just give me 1 second. Okay, so we're going to copy all this. We're going to paste it. And we're going to change this to 3. We're going to change this to object mana number. And we're going to change this. Oh, I guess we're all done. Okay, so it looks like we have everything down. Okay, so now we're going to put our mana in the room. Okay, and before we begin, I want to draw the mana. Mana. Okay, so let's run our game and see how it looks. Okay, so we can move around, but it looks like it's covering it all up, so we don't want that real quick. So we're going to do 64, and we're going to do like 98. I don't know. As long as it's out of the way, we are good. Okay? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to make this one into like 120 so then it gets out of the inventory slot. Let's wait. All right, there we go. Okay, so as we can see here, we can pick up our potion. And it'll be potions equals 1, HP equals 100. So we left click and it'll equal 105, okay? So we can do the same exact thing here. We have the mana, we have number of mana right there. We right click, it does the same exact thing, okay? And we left click, it will make it go to 5, okay? So I think that is going to be everything. Oh no. So as we can see here, it just goes straight on there, and I think I know what the problem is. Right here is going to be object mana, okay? And let's test this out one more time. Okay, so we have that, okay. I think it's because we only did it in one inventory slot. The reason why it's doing that. So if we do that, will it go over? Yes, it will. Okay, I'll be right. Okay, so I just barely realized that we have number of mana, actually no, not number of mana slot here, but we never applied that in here. It's just object slots, and we don't want that. So we're just going to go in here, type in slots, okay, and replace it with mana slot, okay? And we're going to do that to this one as well. I'm in object mana, as you can see. So we are going to do slots, replace it with mana slot. Okay. And now we're going to go to our mana number. Okay, one more. Whoops. Alrighty, so now it should work. Okay, so we have our little game, okay, and then we pick up the mana, and then the potions will go into a separate slot, okay? We can left click, it will apply it to our game, okay? So if we pick up this potion, then it will still be like that, and we don't want it to just go to slot 2. We want it to make it so if we left click, then this slot is available. So we're going to go into our inventory slot here, do left press, and we're going to make it so everything should be. Okay, just give me 1 second. Alrighty, I seem to have found the problem. So if we go into our potion number and we go into our alarm 0, we forgot to add that global.slots equals none, because as soon as we right click, we don't want it to say like, oh, inventory slot 1 still equals slots even though there's mana in there. So we don't want that to happen. So go into object potion number and and then you add the following code, global.slots equals none. And then as soon as you're done with that, you go to mana number, you go to alarm 0, and then global.mana slot equals none. Okay, so I did that, but it seems that there was still a little issue with the mana and the inventory slot. So I went to the inventory slot, and I found out that as soon as we left press, we forgot to add global.slots equals none and global.mana slots equals none. Okay, so just go ahead and add those two lines of code in there, and that should do it. And then you press the play button. Okay, and as soon as we pick up the mana and we left click, then this spot is free, as we can tell when we do this. But if we pick up this right here, it will automatically go to the next slot. Okay, so as we can see here, we can't do anything with that. And let's do that real quick. So we're going to go into our inventory slot 2. Okay, we're going to go copy basically the whole code. Okay, so we're going to go in here. We're going to just copy the whole thing. Actually, let's just copy this right here, so then it'll be easier. So delete that, paste that. Okay, and then just change that to 2. Okay, and we're going to copy this code right here, and we're going to also put that in the other, in this slot. Okay, delete that one, put this one in. Okay, and instead of 1, we're going to have 2. Okay, now we're going to play our game real quick. Okay, so now they can both play their roles, okay? So as we can see here, we have the mana numbers, okay? And if we pick it up, then it automatically goes to the second slot instead of the first one because the first one is occupied. Okay, so that is all what we're going to do today. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave that like, and see you guys next week.